that once we were brought here, we were robbed of our nation.
What's up everybody and welcome to the match this evening. We have got a fantastic game being brought to you. Telkom VS Gaming Masters Season 5. It's going to be Royalty Esports versus Sinister5. Nick, tell the people about the game while I fix this little technical glitch going on here, please.
Well, I mean, listen, we've got Sinister5, we've got Royalty, both of which were on show in this past weekend's Game.Cup. And I mean, coming into this game, we've got Sinister5. They've played 2-1-2 in the first in the Pool A. Royalty, they played 2-1-1, drawn 1. They've actually dropped the map against Critical 5. So I mean, in terms of what's coming up in this game, I think we're going to have a back and forth battle between both of the teams, and I'm excited to see where things go. Obviously, on the side of Sinister5, we've got the experience coming in from Elusive and the boys. Royalty, they're a bit of more of a youthful roster, but they've definitely got the firepower to back it out and take this to possibly even out the maps. Maybe 1-1 is going to be my prediction straight off the bat. I'm keen to say that. I think this game could go either way, but I think it's going to be, they're going to trade map picks possibly, and I think it's going to be 1-1.
Well, you actually had the pleasure of casting these two teams going head to head this weekend, didn't you? I'm sure in the Game.Cup.
Unfortunately, I don't think Royalty didn't get far enough.
I think Royalty did play a game against Sinister5 though, if I'm not mistaken, in that competition. I think Sinister5 beat them 2-0. I'll have to do my homework on that. I just thought I could rely on you, throw you out there, and you could just give all the information necessary.
I know you casted the dynamics in Sinister5 games, so that's something better to pick up on.
And that was a hectic game. That game went on for a very long time. The first map was 16-13 to Sinister5 on Niix. Then it was 16-14 on Inferno to Dynamic. Then the third map was insane. It was actually Dynamic who had a crazy first half on Dust. They went 13-2 up on the T side, went across to the CT side, and they actually they struggled so hard. Sinister5 came all the way back. They went up 15-13. Dynamic eventually took it to overtime. They won 2 rounds. The first 2 rounds they won in the half, and then Sinister5 won it in overtime. So yeah, it was one of the craziest comebacks I've seen in recent times. But yeah, this is that's where we are this evening. Royalty versus Sinister5. This is the Telkom VS Gaming Masters Season 5, guys, and I'm seriously looking forward to tonight's matches.
100%, and I think one thing that we did see in the weekend is obviously Sinister5. They did win out against that match against Dynamic, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dynamic, they came up against Royalty in the lower brackets, and Dynamic were ultimately able to beat out Royalty in that match. So it's kind of interesting to see that we're seeing Sinister5 who have beaten Dynamic and Dynamic who have beaten Royalty. So it kind of gives you a sort of idea of where the two teams stand. But as I say that, again, you can't really put them in a ladder sort of format and say one's better than the other.
Yeah.
So maybe after tonight we'll be able to definitely say one or the other.
Well, we should be finding out soon enough. As you guys can see on your screens, it's not going to be much longer before these guys are jumping into the game. Everybody is nearly connected. We got 9 out of 10. Just letting the players know that we're all set and ready to go.
The .Rs have been given.
Yeah, exactly.
From us at least. From us at least. So I'm excited to jump into it. It's just like top teams in South Africa. Well, some of the top teams, obviously, we know ATK's up ahead, but we're looking at those teams up and around those 4th, 5th, 6th best place around Nick, in the country. So
you're absolutely right. These are some of the top teams in the country. You remember there were over 110 teams that registered for the VS Gaming Leg 3.
Exactly.
That was
So
Premier Division, First Division, Second Division, and then Third Division as well, which is like the ladder. So the fact that if you're in the top 6 or even the top 10, you're a top team in South African Counter-Strike. So both of these teams, they've certainly earned their right to be called a top team. Royalty, one of the more up and coming rosters in South African esports. They made some roster changes recently. They got rid of was it Rockstar and Roger, that's it, yeah. And they brought in Leggy and EXE, and we actually had the pleasure of speaking to Doobie on that panel last week, and he gave us a bit of insights into the team, and he had said that there's been a lot of firepower that's brought into the team, especially with the addition of EXE, and he rates Leggy's AWP incredibly highly. So I'm going to be
top 3 in the country.
Yeah, he did say top 3 in the country, Nick, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because we're going to be holding his word to him this game and seeing exactly how Leggy's going to be faring. We had the pleasure of watching Slayer absolutely popping off over the weekend, so I've got no doubts about him pitching up tonight. And you know, if Leggy performs to the ability that we expect him to, then we're going to have a really fantastic AWP matchup tonight as well.
100%. And I was Leggy. He's been streaming recently on Twitch, and I've been lucky enough to catch some of his streams. And the one thing I like about Leggy is he makes AWPing look so easy. He makes it look so simple. All you do is you put the crosser on the other player and you flick when you need to. But then you try it yourself, and he makes it look so much easier than it needs to be. So I'm definitely excited to see that matchup come out between Slayer and Leggy. And again, throughout the other players, you're looking at like a head-to-head battle between maybe like Lately and EXE. You can put those two up against one another. Maybe Elusive and God's Not Dead. Those two sort of brains behind the brawn in a way. So I think we're definitely going to see
quite a comparison there, Nick.
Very exciting matchup. Yeah, without a doubt.
God's Not Dead to Elusive. I know God's Not Dead would love that comparison. I don't know how Elusive would feel about that.
Yeah.
But you were just mentioning how Lately could match up with EXE, and yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. Lately has brought a lot of firepower into the Sinister5 team. I must say, I've been really impressed to see how quickly he's transitioned into this roster. And this weekend, he was hitting some great shots. He was performing at the best of his ability, and it was looking solid. And he was working really well with the Sinister5 roster. They were looking very good on their T side. Their movement was very fluid and dynamic. And you could just see some good mid-round decisions were coming through, and everybody was reacting to those decisions accordingly. Everyone was on the same page, and it just shows that a team's communication is on point. So yeah, I think it's a big opportunity for the likes of Lately and Slayer as well. They're getting to work with 3 of South Africa's most experienced Counter-Strike players in Deviant, Elusive, and Zero Chance.
100%, and I think now both of these teams, they've had recent roster changes, as you've alluded to. I think both of them have had 2 new additions. So now is the time they've had a couple weeks to practice.
Yeah.
More than a couple weeks. They've had a tournament under their belt now with the new roster changes. So now's the time we're going to start to see a well-oiled machine come out of both these teams, and then eventually when they've had a little bit more time, we're going to see what happens now today.
Yeah.
But eventually when they had a little bit more time, we're going to see with the full firepower that we can see come out of both of these rosters.
Yeah.
I think today we're definitely going to see how both of them fare up against one another. They've had relatively the same amount of time with the roster changes that each of them have experienced, and I think it's going to be, as I've said multiple times, it's going to be an interesting matchup.
I think that's a great point you make, though. Neither of these teams are going to be at full strength yet, though. They've both made 2 roster changes in the past couple of months. Trying to remember whose was more recent. It kind of feels like they were around very similar time periods.
I think they may have been the same day.
Yeah, like it was.
I think they were very close to one another.
They certainly were. So that means that they're both going to have had the same amount of time to sort of get themselves up to speed. So yeah. This is it. It seems like everybody's ready. Elusive's asking, how long do you guys need? God's Not Dead saying, we're ready. What do you mean?
Ready.
And everybody's just been waiting for everybody. And here we go, into the knife round. Guys, remember the format. This is an 18-team event. 9 teams have been split into 2 groups. Okay, well, 18 teams, 9 teams in each group. And each team plays one another in a round-robin format. Best of 2 matches throughout. Knife before each map to determine the sides. Well, actually, no, this is the knife for the veto, if I'm not mistaken.
The veto, yeah.
Because you actually get to choose the side on your opponent's map pick.
100%. And often we've spoken about these BO2s and how interesting sort of, as Elusive just confirms that they'll veto second. I think it's very interesting to see the sort of map picks we're going to see from multiple teams. So we see God Not Dead and the boys already. They've minus Train. Elusive's responded with a minus Inferno, and we're going to see sort of the common map picks come out. So I assume a Dust 2, possibly a Nuke come out, and we'll see what's going to happen. So they've Royalty have just minus overpass. We're going to see what Sinister5 have minus vertigo. So again, I think we're going to see the Dust 2s and the Nukes come out once again. We'll see.
Yeah, Nuke for sure. It feels like. I feel like Sinister5 definitely pick Nuke into this.
There's the Dust and the Nuke. There we go. Patting myself on the back.
There we go. Well called. So, Dust and Nuke. That is the playing field heading into this. I like the map pool because I think it actually works quite well for both of the teams. But it just, I think it slightly favors Sinister5 because they're really strong on both of these maps.
Yeah, and as you said, like with the game against Dynamic in the Game Cup, we saw that they were 13-2 down, and we saw what they could do from that sort of deficit. And Royalty, I know their Dust is one of their best maps, so I think it's definitely going to be an exciting matchup. And we've seen just in terms of the experience that you've spoken about prior, 13-2, they've come back from it, so they know, regardless of the scoreline in this game, they know that it's possible to pull out a victory. And I think once again, both these maps, I think either teams can play. So really, it could go either way. But I think I'm gonna say I'm gonna be 1-1 the series. I think Royalty are gonna take this map, and Sinister5 will take Nuke.
Okay, so you think Royalty? You think it's gonna go stock standard? Each team wins their own map pick. We're going to end the evening with a 1-1 scoreline. And
I know it's not going to be that straightforward.
You know what I mean, Nick? You see where I'm going with this? It's just like you're thinking everything's going to go as normal, but things never go as normal, bro.
I'm hoping we see some OTs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we see some OTs.
I just want a closely contested matchup. I want to see some entertaining Counter-Strike. And with the players on the server, there's every chance that that's going to be happening. Both of these teams play very enterprising brands of Counter-Strike. They both like to take fights. They do the flashy stuff as well as doing the proper stuff well. Like Sinister5 is probably a little bit more reserved than Royalty, because Royalty just have naturally aggressively inclined players when it comes to how they approach their game. They like to take fights, they like to re-peak, because they know that they're incredibly skilled individuals and they have the ability to go for that extra fight. Sometimes it can cost them, but more often than not, they're going to come out on top. So it's going to be entertaining for sure.
100%, and I think that again goes towards, if you look at the ages of this roster, you're looking at the 3 experienced players that Sinister5 have, and on the Royalty side, there's pretty much all of them are pretty much very young talents, and as you said, maybe that extra peak will win them and lose them around just as fast as it does the opposite. And I think it's going to be definitely exciting to see the experience from Sinister5 and the straight out firepower and brawn that Royalty could bring out in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, man. We're just waiting for one of the Royalty players to reconnect here. Doobie should be returning shortly. So let's just talk a bit more. Just talk a bit more about the structure. So, as I said, 9 teams in 2 different groups. The top 4 teams in each group is seeded into the winners bracket in the second stage of the event. The teams who place 5th through to 8th are seeded into the losers bracket into the second stage. Remember, this is a 3-stage event. The first stage is the group stage. The second stage is the championship elimination stage, and the third stage is the Masters stage itself, which is played in conjunction with Comic-Con Online. I actually did a bit of a write-up. If you go onto VS Gaming's website, you'll see it. I broke it down, spoke a little bit about the teams and the tournament formats, the tournament's format itself. So if you want to read up a bit about that, go head over to VS Gaming's website and you should see it there. Back to this game though. We should be getting into the action
Doobie
soon.
has reconnected.
Yeah, breaking news.
So
We've got all 10 players.
We're just waiting for God's Not Dead and Doobie to ready up, and then I think we're going to see some cracking Counter-Strike. So often with the vetoes, for those of you who don't know, the opposite team that's picked the map, they get to select which side they start on, and I think Dust 2 is one of those maps you can. It's seen as a T-sided map because it's quite easy to identify that rotator and ultimately hit that site that has the one less man. But again, it depends. Often, pretty much 9 out of 10 times, you're going to see a team starting on the CT side, but you're going to see what Sinister5 are going to choose to do so.
Hey man, I think that's
console.
Yeah, I think Dust 2 in South Africa is heavily T-sided. I really do. Just seems so often that teams find most of their rounds on the T side in local Counter-Strike here on Dust. Also, teams seem to struggle a little bit with the CT side of the map on top of just being a bit better on the T side, so it's a bit of both. So yeah, I think whoever wins this, or I think, yeah, so it's it is Sinister5, and they go for CT. So there we go. I mean,
Yeah.
they only won 2 rounds this weekend on the CT side, so they say, guys, we have the best T side in South Africa. It doesn't matter. Even if we don't win 1 round, we'll still take it to OT.
Exactly, and I think it's going to be a very exciting matchup as you're going to jump straight into the pistol round. I'm so excited to get this underway, and
Yeah.
we're going to see what happens, huh?
Guys, just let us know how the in-game audio levels are in comparison to myself and Nick's mic. Just to make sure that everything is balanced. And here we go. Look at this aggression from Lately. Already dropped down into lower dark. He's getting so much information. God's Not Dead's also going to be faking over at B, but it's going to be very quickly realized in Sinister5's camp that it's a fake. No, they've actually responded quite substantially. The rotations have come through. Lately's taking down God's Not Dead, and that's going to be the cue for Royalty, that they need to get themselves onto this A site as quickly as possible. Util starting to come in to allow them to cross, and Elusive, he's going to be able to tap one down through the smoke. And that makes their job so much easier now as they try and get towards the safe side. Oh my god, Deviant and Lately destroy the 2 players trying to take cat control, and they're not even going to be able to find a bomb plant, Nick.
The only damage that was done was 7 HP taken onto Deviant. And I mean, if you're Sinister5 on your opponent's map pick going into this BO2, there's not a better way you could start this map, as we've already seen Royalty. Okay, they're choosing to buy up the pistols, which wasn't a common theme we saw on the weekend. Often we saw teams full savings, they can get those AKs and that utility out.
Yeah.
But we didn't see Royalty get a bomb plant, and they got no frag, so there's literally no money in the bank for them. But they're going to try and pesture towards long. EXE is going to take the first damage of the round, and just like that, Doobie's going to take contact with the lowers. Slayer gets the first kill of the round without receiving a thing.
Man.
He's actually able to get 2, and he's farming money.
Yeah, this
with
is
his MP9.
This is quite a statement from Sinister5. Already in the first 2 rounds, they've pushed into lower dark through middle. So that's showing a sign of intent, perhaps, that they're not afraid to take the fight to Royalty. Not going to be giving them any space for free. Nice shot there from Lately. He's clearly dialed in. He's spoken spoken a lot about how vehemently against the FAMAS he is. Lately, that is. Not a fan of the weapon at all.
Yeah, and as Tools put it, the Galil's just better because you have 10 more bullets to whiff. So I don't think there's a better way to put it. But going into the second round, no kills posted for Royalty and no deaths that are going to correlate onto the CT side, as you're going to see again. No kills going the way. There's no money in the bank, so we're seeing just upgraded pistols. Leggy's on that Glock. We know he wants to get that AWP out, but to the third round we go. And Elusive.
That's the problem, though, Nick.
Yeah.
The fact that they invested into those Desert Eagles in the previous round is what means that they won't be able to actually buy up in this round right here. If they had just fully saved in that round, they would have had enough for like AK armor and a bit of util, but it's still enough to have a crack at the round with. Nice spam there from God's Not Dead. I don't think it was necessary for them to buy those Deagles in the previous round. But anyway, they might still be able to get across the line in this round with the Desert Eagles. Deviant, oh my god! That is such a ballsy repeat from him there. He's controlling such an important part of the map for his team. It was a 3 versus 3, but he just shows no fear whatsoever. Elusive lands another nice scout shot as well, so calm being brought back to the situation here.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the round, this was a round expected for Sinister5 to take. But as you said, like, you're going up against unarmored Deagles, and these MP9s are able to farm cash. Like Slayer, he's already on $4,600. He's going to get the winning bonus of this round, or the lost bonus if God's Not Dead gets something done, and he's able to buy up an AWPN.
Yeah.
The next round's going to be the important one to get the wheels rolling on both sides.
Yeah, for sure. God's Not Dead, not going to be long for this world any further. Flawless start here for Sinister5 as they go up 3-0, but now we get into the meat and the potatoes. This is the real deal right now. Leggy has been able to pick up that AWP. As he said, he saved a bit of extra money to afford that. An AWP in the hands of Slayer as well, but it's a bit of a mismatch buy for Sinister5. They still have the FAMAS and the Scout from the previous round, so it's not ideal because it's not a full bonus round either. If they lose this, they can't full buy in the next.
Yeah,
But,
and we saw
yeah.
Deviant, he actually switched out for his MP9. He dropped that down so he could purchase up that M4. But
That's a good
lately,
decision, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And lately he's stuck with the FAMAS, even though we've said how much he dislikes the weapon. But we're going to see, I mean, you can still get a kill at long range with the FAMAS, and same can be said with the Scouts. But the long control early in the rounds taken by Sinister5, a smoke's dropped in the doors.
Yeah.
They're going to see just a slow default coming out of Royalty, and ultimately they've got 4 players with still full utility, and the same can't be said about Sinister5. They've just got zero chance, and he's actually just about to throw that nade. So
Yeah.
in terms of the early round trades, all the map controls gone the way of Sinister5 in the meantime. But we're going to see the execute's going to come in, and Sinister5, they've got a couple mollies and a couple smokes, but it will be interesting to see how this round fares out in the late round.
Yeah, as you said, Royalty doing a great job of just bleeding out the utility at the moment. They have so much left in reserve. And they can...
Sorry, I forgot not that was short there.
They still have a few options available. It looks like it's going to be the short hit, but no, as I said, that the bomb going back through T-spawn. So this is quite a nice adaptation where you fake the hit onto A through short, and then you quickly go back into the B split. But Sinister5 are really well poised to deal with this. They have 2 players on the B bomb site. They have a player in CT as well. It just depends whether they react to this fake or not as the flashes start making their way into the Say's side. Look at Lady's position here on the opposite side of the smoke. He's going to go down. Now it's the Slayer with the AWP, and he's not able to connect on a shot either. That's the round set and done. It's just about Sinister5 doing a bit of damage control, but EXE ensuring that they're not going to be able to take many weapons into the next round. It's just 0 chance left alive, and he has no choice but to save.
I think that was a fantastically drawn out round from Royalty. 25 seconds left on the clock, and they're going to choose to fake EXE over towards the A bomb side, throw a couple bolts of utility that way with God's Not Dead helping him out, and then add 2 people pushing through uppers and God's Not Dead coming late towards middle. And ultimately, lately unable to get anything done close to the smoke up at tons, and the round just goes the way of Royalty, and 0 chances, unable to even save the M4.
Which is a problem.
But with that said, yeah, you've got Elusive on 7k and 2 players below 2, so we're going to see a bit of a mismatch buy again. We're going to see, but it is going to be an investment. We've got Elusive on the AWP, and we've got another gun round coming our way.
If only 0 chance have been able to save that M4, right? This would have looked a little bit better, because now this is 2 mismatch buys in a row for Sinister5, which is not ideal. Anyway, let's see if they can make it work. Sinister5, he takes the hit for the team. He just has the scout with no armor. Elusive with the AWP. But I completely agree with you. That was a fantastic previous round from Royalty. They showed a lot of maturity in their approach, and it's also going to be making Sinister5 think twice in the future about how they're going to be reacting to these situations. They saw the fake on the A site. They're not going to be rotating too quickly, which means Royalty can start to exploit that and hit a bomb aggressively, knowing that the rotations might be slightly tentative, because Sinister5 are waiting for the fake.
And like last round, as I alluded to, you laid out the util all the way through the round, and the same with this round. There's 1 minute 10 seconds left on the clock. You got a smoke and 2 flashes. There's 4 Royalty players with pretty much full belts of utility. If they hit a bomb site, there's nothing to hold them back. There's just a cross in the middle of your screen, and you're probably going to be blind and mollied out. You're not going to have the greatest time. This B hit does come in, but lately, with the spray, he's able to get through. But as I said, there's no utility to hold them back. They push through the smoke. Doobie and Donkey get 2 of their own. 1 of their own rather, and now it's a 3v2 retake on the B bomb site. And if I was Sinister5, they're going to save the weapons, and that is what they're going to do so. Deviant with the AK, Elusive with the AWP, and they need these weapons going into the next round.
Yeah, I mean, you could see Elusive made that call immediately, because Deviant was picking up the AK, he was getting in position to retake, and Elusive turned around, he's like, my man, we're saving these weapons right now. And
it's not happening.
I'm not surprised. The B bomb site on Dust 2 is notoriously one of the most difficult bomb sites to retake in Counter-Strike.
And I think it is interesting. So we haven't seen many tournament formats like this one and the Game.Cup this past weekend, where there are going to be lots of Dust 2 games with these reverse doors. So this is going to be quite interesting in terms of what gimmicks teams have thought out in terms of retaking the B bomb site, whether it's a bit more doable, because it is with the change of the doors. But does that make them want to bite the cherry a bit more, trying to retake the B bomb site? But Elusive and Deviant, they didn't take the bait. They saved the AWP and AK into this round. We're going to see Lately purchased up a CZ. It's going to be, Slayer's got that Zeus. I want to see him jump into lower tunnels and try to get something done with that.
Yeah, it looks like Lately has gotten into lowers, and so has Slayer, but hasn't got the Zeus out just yet. In fact, here we go. The crossfire's in place. EXE, oh my god! That is insane. What a fantastic sequence. I caught that from Slayer's POV, so unfortunately we didn't see the crispy shot, but yeah.
I was on Lately's POV, so I mean, it's not the end of the world, so we've got a bit of ether.
Oh, nice.
Oh, as we were saying, who's insane, Deviant has got 2 in the round with the saved AK from the previous round. Leggy takes down Elusive on the bomb site. Yeah, bomb site's pretty much in the hands of Royalty, but Deviant's going to try and make a play through the smoke because he smoked off long. Get a flash from his teammate. God's Not Dead gets taken down, and the bomb's going to be planted. Donkey.
Oh my god.
But Deviant gets 2, and now the last player alive is Leggy with the AWP. He's going to play close. We're going to see what he can get done. There's no flash for his teammate to fight off of
Oh,
this.
Deviant sees the smoke. He realizes he can quickly pick it up. Look at how far forward Leggy is. He catches Deviant completely off guard. Now it's just zero chance left up close to try and deal with the situation and close out the clutch if he can. Win the round for his team. Spraying away frantically. He's eventually going to connect on the shots. He had no armor to help him, but it didn't cost him too dearly in the end. What a round win for Sinister5. Just a save. Deviant going absolutely huge with that AK.
Yeah, you got 4 kills in that round. As you saw EXE get the 5 versus 3 advantage. Deviant just trotting up cats, gets 4 of his own rather, or 2 of his own, and then pushes that long smoke and gets another 2. And ultimately, that Royalty are left scratching their heads a bit as to how that round went south. But
yeah,
we're going to see another full buy coming out from both sides, the full buzz of utility from both sides. We're going to see once again the utility retention from Sinister5 is going to be key later in this game, as you're going to see more fakes coming out, and ultimately bleeding out that utility is what Royalty do best. And we're going to see what happens as we're seeing mid being left completely vacant by Sinister5 as short control once again, as Doobie is actually able to catch lately through the smoke towards upper B. And Leggy, he's able to catch Slayer on the cross, and just like that, it's another 5v3.
Yeah, this is really nice passive approach coming out of Royalty right now. They're playing very low risk in their approach, and they're just sitting back waiting to see if Sinister5 is going to be making any moves, seeing if they can catch anybody off. And it's worked out perfectly. A little bit lucky with that first frag, but that second one, just pure patience from Leggy, and he's still just holding the angle, seeing if somebody might try to come up, pick up the weapon, or whatever the case may be. Also knowing in the back of his mind, just while Royalty waits, Sinister5 are going to be rotating around and questioning the setup. You can see they've got 2 players in the middle. It's only Lucy here on A. He's going to connect on the first, but he gets completely overwhelmed. Nice spacing there from EXE to make sure that he's immediately in position to trade out the frag. And now it's just Deviant and zero chance. Yes, they have kits, but it's a 2v4. They only have 1 flash between them. Probably going to be saving this once again.
And once again, the utility retention in terms of the Sinister5 side of things, like yes, it's a 5v3, but all the players left, you've got a nade that Elusive had, and a flash that Deviant has.
Yeah.
And that's it. If they hit the bomb sites, you're going to lose the round. And I want to see maybe Sinister5, they call a tactical timeout and talk things over, because their utility retention is not looking the greatest. And
yeah,
it's a bit touch and go going late into this half, as that's what Royalty are going to do on the T side. They're going to bleed out that utility. 20 seconds left on the clock. They're going to hit a bomb site, and you're going to have no utility to stop them.
Yeah, so Sinister5 need to start adapting and actually just holding on to their util until they see significant presence, rather than just trying to get rid of it early on in the round and keep Royalty at bay, because Royalty aren't forcing the issue. So I agree with you. Sinister5 just need to hold on to their smokes and their mollies, and then if they drop that smoke with only 30 seconds left on the clock, all of a sudden Royalty's strat becomes so much more difficult to execute, because now you have to push through a smoke or a molly. So let's see if that adaptation comes through. 4-3 here is the score. Royalty with the far superior buy here. Slayer with Desert Eagle and FAMAS lately also has no utility, nor does Slayer. So this is a shoddy buy to say the least for Sinister5.
It is a full purchase at that. Zero chance the only one with recognizable money in the bank, and even then it's $450. That's just a P250 and a decoy pretty much, or dualies and decoy for those of you that don't know. But in terms of the utility side, once again, zero chance was the only player with a full belt of util. He's already used his smoke and his molly, so now Royalty, they're probably going to hit a bomb site, and unless Sinister5 get really lucky, or there's a couple missed flashbangs from the Royalty side of things, I don't see a way in which Royalty lose this round. But that being said, you never know what can happen. This is the lovely game of Counter-Strike we all love and know. We're going to see his Deviant's holding close towards long, and the flash is going to come through. A couple of frags of his own. He gets 1, and the trade is unable to come in as Leggy's post on the angle, but it's just going to be this B hit. Lately's hiding in the cubby. The flash is going to come in. He should get cleared. Leggy gets 1, and EXE comes in with the trade. God's not there. It's good for 1 of his own, and just like that, it's a 3v3. A double molly towards the window, ensuring that no one can push through that, but a bit of a wonky door smoke could allow for a play through that, but it's just going to be a 3v3 post plant, and Leggy's position is going to be vital. How fast he can come in to rotating, and he could actually catch zero chance unawares towards upper tunnels. He's posted on the angle, and the question is, does zero chance take the bait? Does zero chance cross? And zero chance seems to have an inkling of that possibility, but Leggy gets absolutely timing when he's able to. fix it at the end of the day, and it's 4-4, and
Jeez.
we're gonna see Sinister5 come into the eco.
That was a 5 versus 3 that Sinister5 managed to convert into a round win without even losing a player further. That's super impressive. The way that they actually lose control on the opposite side of the map with that execute towards long. They try fake again, and Sinister5 didn't take the bait at all. I don't know if you noticed, but both of the players on B didn't move a muscle. So you can see that Sinister5 have cottoned on that Royalty are going to be trying these fakes. But that didn't even make much of a difference in the end. God's Not Dead and EXE just had some fantastic entries onto the bomb sites, and the rest was history from there. Again, Sinister5 having no luck in the retake. We have seen them have luck in their eco rounds in the past though, although this one might just be a stretch too far. Deviant has the AK though, so I'm not gonna discount them entirely.
As we did see God's Not Dead, he fell over towards long tunnels, and that was the call for Royalty to hit the B bomb site, and they've done so, and they've found it completely vacant.
Yeah.
Deviant should just save the AK, and he's going to do so. And Elusive and Zero Chance, I assume they're just going to try pick up the scraps on the way out, as Royalty are going to clear out an exit path, which is important for those of you who don't know. If anyone's new to watching Counter-Strike, it's important to exit safely, especially when you're trying to build up that economy to ensure that you have control of this. So they've cleared out the upper B site and the upper B tunnels rather, and going to stay on the bomb side as long as possible, and then hopefully have that safe exit route that I talked about, because there's no point in hunting. They do have an AK which you could find, but you want to save these AKs more importantly than find theirs.
Absolutely. This is looking solid for Royalty, all things considered. 5-4 on the T side. They've got a solid amount of cash in the bank. And it looks like Sinister5 are going to go for the buy here. This is where the half could actually start to spiral out of control for Sinister5, Nick. If they lose this round, they have to save in the next, and all of a sudden, Royalty have got a solid lead. The problem I have with this is there's no AWPs for Sinister5, and the double AWP setup on Dust is probably the most important map to have the double AWP setup. And we're going to be seeing some aggression coming through. EXE on short, turning up the heat, and taking the map control with commanding Iron Fist.
That's also something you alluded to, is not having that AWP. You can't really Guardian Angel your team over towards middle, watching for those suicide pushes or those pushes towards the top right of middle. And in this round, EXE and his teammates, I think that is Doobie or God's Not Dead over towards short, one of the two.
Yeah.
They just were able to maraud up short and get the opening kill of the round. And Royalty, they've got to slow things down once again, bleed out the util again. The util on Sinister5, yes, the buy wasn't great, but again, you've got 2 smokes and 3 flashes. No, 2 smokes and 2 flashes left. And if they hit a bomb site, there's nothing you're going to be able to do besides be blind and hope for the best.
Another fake coming through onto this A bomb site, and it looks like Sinister5, they put the bait slightly. Slayer just shifted out of position in the B bomb site, and that's when the execute came through. Royalty, they're just keeping things so simple right now, the way that they're approaching this game. Pretty impressed by what I've seen from them so far on this T side. You can see that there's some very good coordination going on. The only thing I would recommend is that they just got to avoid becoming predictable. They've now molded Sinister5 into expecting the fake, and that's where then you start changing up the setup and you don't throw the fake, you actually just commit off the first wave of util. So they've just got to keep that in mind.
What I'm a fan of with Royalty as well is you see a lot of low level teams, they'll throw the smokes A and go B and then have no one commit with it, which doesn't really sell the fake as you've alluded to. But what Royalty have done, they've sent EXE out, quite a mechanically gifted player with his aim, and they've sent him out to try sell the fake, and it's worked the first round actually. And after that, Sinister5 haven't really bitten the bullets, except for a little bit last round with Slayer getting caught in transition.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if they just go off that hit, maybe the rotates come in late, and then you're gonna get another couple easy rounds. But even into this round, you're gonna see a partial investment coming out from Sinister5. Slayer's gonna keep an extra bank in his pocket so that he can buy out that AWP. And as we alluded to earlier in the game, we want to see that AWP versus AWP battle. We want to see that come out. We're going to see both these teams. They've got Slayer and Leggy, the 2 AWPers on either side. And it's going to be an interesting affair going in later to this game, but we haven't really seen it as of yet.
Yeah, we've been deprived of the AWP battle that we were hoping so much to see. So, well, we spoke about Slayer against Leggy, however, the hand cannon wasn't exactly the weapon we were referring to. The pocket AWP, yeah, it's got some bit of validity on board, I suppose. Doobie actually going to find one until he goes down. A quick flurry of frags here for Sinister5 means that they've actually turned this into a potentially winnable situation. Zero Chance, he's been able to get a second kill with the AK. All of a sudden, it's EXE who's left to clutch. Things have fallen apart at the seams here for Royalty. Elusive though, he just pushes through the smoke. I'm not sure what the call was there. He even made a bit of noise before he pushed. So EXE was ready and prepared for that. Now it's on Zero Chance. That's clutch. This is an interesting one. Zero Chance versus EXE, the old guard against the new guard. If I'm not mistaken, EXE is only like 16 or 17 years old. He's a youngster.
He's gone T-spawn.
Yeah,
But
this is the
time.
big brain. And he's going to spot him. No ways. Don't tell me he didn't see him.
He did see him. Oh,
No,
but the
he
question
didn't
is, where's
see him.
EXE gonna...
I don't think Zero Chance actually saw him. It's the boomer eyes. The boomer eyes aren't as strong. But the boomer can frag. Don't get it twisted. Zero Chance. He's made the perfect read
he's
here.
missed his timing.
He's put himself in position. EXE's not expecting this, but it doesn't make a difference. He still connects on the shot. And
EXE
completes
with
the
the
clutch.
1v2.
And saves his team as well.
But as you said, that mid-smoke push from Elusive, maybe they thought EXE was still in upper tunnels, but even then, you know, it's been a couple seconds since you lost that first frag, and you've lost track of EXE's position. So that push at that mid-smoke was a bit touch and go for me, and that proved to be the kryptonite to Sinister5's 8th, 12th, 13th, 12th, 11th round, 5th round on all of their rounds, and we're gonna see a full purchase come out again. And as you said, the double AWP setup is out. We're going to see that Slayer versus Leggy battle. We're going to see Elusive. I assume, depending on the spawns, Slayer, I assume, is going to go towards long with the spawn that he has, and Elusive possibly AWPing over towards middle of the B bomb sites. And we're going to see this AWP versus AWP battle. The big green guns are out.
I really hope that Sinister5 absolutely steamroll this round so that I can just say I told you so in terms of the double AWP setup, because this is the first time they've actually had the double AWP setup, and it's 12 rounds into the half. It just feels like poor economic management is what's led to them being into this at this point. But this is the first time we've seen Royalty be super aggressive in their long take. And Sinister5, well, they might be caught sleeping here. Deviant was left by himself. His teammates abandoned him. They didn't think that the push was going to come through from Royalty because Royalty have been so passive. Nice adaptation and change up here late in the half.
100%, and this is the first time we've seen Royalty really battle for that long position when Sinister5 have had notable weaponry on their side. They've rather leaned over towards keeping up at Suns under lock and key, or rather taking that short aggression quickly, but it seems like Royalty had the read that we could see the double AWP setup out, and they're choosing to completely vacate middle besides that of EXE towards lowers, and he's going to show some presence of his own, possibly catch lately out towards bottom middle. He's going to drop the smoke, which Adrena, I believe, showed. Lately's going to respond to the spam, but the cross smokes are coming in. Flashes to accompany it, and the bomb site is going to go Royalty, but Slayer is left in the middle of nowhere. He's caught with his pants down over towards short as Donkey gets that frag, and 5v3, and unless Sinister5 players have got a miracle in their pocket, which could be that kill that lately just got into EXE, this round could be winnable.
Yeah, a bit of overzealous there from EXE as he just started to edge through the middle doors. Not going to cost his team whatsoever though, as Sinister5 are still committing to the save. So this has been a really nice run from Royalty. This is going to be their 8th round win in the past 7 rounds, Nick. So things looking really solid for them. But let's not forget that Sinister5 possess a hell of a T-side on this map.
100%.
So Royalty needed to have this sort of a half if they were going to be competitive on Dust. I think that they need to push for at least 10 rounds to give themselves a solid chance heading into the second half. Because Sinister5 were expecting this to be the case. Not necessarily like expecting themselves to struggle, but they knew that their stronger half was the second half. So they can afford to be behind it when heading into that half.
100%, and we saw Sinister5, they came back from the 13-2 scoreline that I've mentioned earlier, and you were lucky enough to cast that game, so
yeah,
I have no doubt Sinister5, they're not going to get flustered, they're going to take things as it is. They definitely can pull out the comeback, and I mean, 11-4 at the half, instead of 13-2, they'll take it.
Any day. Absolutely any day.
Yeah.
13-2 is such a grim scoreline to look at when you're on the lower end of that. It's like, oh geez, how do we even stand any hope in the second half? But actually I asked Goals about that as his experience as a player. How does it feel being so far behind and actually trying to get back into the game? And he said, you know what? It's actually not that challenging. You need someone to crack a joke. You need to just make sure that you keep your head in the right place, because it's 0-0 in terms of the second halftime scoreline. And you can do to your opponents what they did to you. So if you just have that belief, it's just by taking it round by round. So yeah, that's it. There's a comeback always on the table.
100%, and I'm a bit wary about this single long setup that Elusive is choosing to play out, and We've seen Royalty EXE's thrown that flash often, which for those of you who don't know, it's a common boost to have over the short. Oh, elusive Deviant rather is only good for one. But that flash that EXE throws is a common boost over towards the short corner where the AWPer jumps on the teammate's head. You can peer towards lower and get a free kill. But Royalty, they've been doing their homework. They flash up that angle and then clear it out, and ultimately that boost not only yields info, but then you know that your long's weak. So then they hit long, they get the trade. And now we're looking at a 4v4 mid round. And again, the util retention. Slayer's that B anchor, and he's got a nade left. That's all he's got.
Look at the fake coming through from Donkey here as well.
Again, yeah, and there's 3 players in no man's land.
Yeah, Sinister5 aren't completely taking the bait. Elusive just rattles off a shot. He's able to take Donkey down, and now they just have to focus their attention towards the B bomb side. Slayer has not had a fun time so far here in the half, and his woes will continue. Leggy coming through with the quick flank will catch Leggy before he can compose himself with the AWP, and that finds a one-man advantage for Sinister5. This needs to be a round win for them. They have to convert this. They have to make the retake happen. They've got a smoke to work with. No more flashes remaining. And they're going to be trying to make their way forward. EXE can't connect on the shots. Now it's just Doobie left. They know exactly where he is. He's taken down Elusive. There's a smoke to be dropped on the bomb, and Lately's going to be able to secure the frag as well.
But even then, it's a bit of a touch-and-go retake. I mean, I know they wanted our with 2 players staying alive, but again, that util retention's not looking great. You got Slayer anchoring that B bomb site. He's unable to get anything done. It's actually Lately that gets 3 kills, I believe, on that retake, which actually is the perfect sort of remedy to that sort of mishap that happened on the B bomb site. And with that being said, there's full belts of util throughout the server, double AWP, 3 big green guns amongst the 10 players, and we're going to see another full buy round. And as you said, 10-5, that's the score Royalty need to be looking at. I think Royalty, they're that team where they get the majority of rounds on their T side, just knowing that God's not dead in his RGLing style. That is going to be the case, but Slayer's actually probing towards uppers, and he could get caught looking the wrong way. But he actually spots Doobie's arm. Doobie's been gymming. The arms are there, and Slayer's able to get the headshot over towards him.
Yeah, really fortunate timing there for Slayer as he just looked back towards that T tunnel entrance. And that's a rare opening kill for Sinister5 that goes untraded. Now, Royalty are going to have to regather their resources, and you can see all 4 players are grouping up towards Catwalk. They're going to just execute onto the safe bomb site. There's plenty of utility left on the table for these individuals to make it happen with, and you can see it's going to have to be used effectively. Elusive is on the angle with the AWP, and if you give this guy free vision, he's going to be taking names as you cross onto the bomb site. They need to just keep these flashes raining over the top to keep forcing him off the angle. The molly's going to come through as well, and that is going to be forcing him back. First objective achieved as Royalty take control of the bomb site, and the bomb gets planted. Now they need to transition into the post plant, and you can see everybody seamlessly moving into the position they know that they need to take control of. Still,
and again, I hate to go back to it all the time, but the util retention. You don't have mollies to flush out these angles. You've only got a smoke and a flash, and that nade's going to go off, and smoke over towards short is going to come in from Slayer, and you got 1 flash to retake the bomb site with. Royalty have got 3 of their own, so it's going to be an interesting affair coming into the retake.
Flash comes through, spray down from zero chance, nets him a two piece, but they haven't been able to secure the defuse just yet. As I said that, though, Elusive. Oh no! It's Deviant on the defuse! No! Oh no! Elusive and Zero Chance both had kits. Deviant didn't have a kit. He was the only one without a kit in the retake, and he was the one who ended up on the defuse. If it had been anybody else, that would have been the round win, but it falls apart, and Sinister5 in the most dramatic fashion end up losing the round. That is so unfortunate.
Oh no. And you've lost the round, and all of them died to the bomb, and now you've got 3 FAMASs, 2 M4s, and no util. It's just going to be a B rush coming out from Royalty. Lately he's able to get 1 of his own. He's actually able to double down. But Doobie gets 1, and Lately's good for a 3rd with this FAMAS. The weapon he hates so much, he's on for the 4th, but EXE actually takes him out. Now to 2v3 post plant. EXE, Leggy have to hold off the upcoming CTs rather.
Yeah, this is going to be such a tough post plant for them to lock down. You can see that's why they feel compelled to make some sort of a player flash over the top. Leggy does drop off the box though. And they're trying to get something done, our Royalty, before Sinister5 starts getting onto the bomb site, but it's not going to happen. I have to be slightly critical there of the way that Royalty approached that round. They've been having such a cool, calm, composed approach throughout this entire half, where they've just been using the full length of the round. They've been shifting Sinister5 all over the board. And trust me, I understand the logic. It's like, wow, Sinister5 had a really gut-wrenching loss the round before. Let's just hit them with the B rush and just try and hit them while their confidence is low. But it's the calm, composed players which have been winning all these rounds for royalty. So why drop that composure? That round might cost them in the long run. Like I said, I do understand the school of thought of the aggressive player. I just don't agree with it in that case. Anyway, second half.
Second half is underway. You've got Elusive on 2 flashes, a smoke and a molly on Slayers. It looks like it's just going to be a B hit, but EXE, he gets the first of the round, and that's the play with armor. So there's still some flashes to hit the bomb site with, but ultimately, looking at a close bait and switch setup over towards middle, that is Doobie and Donkey, I believe. And over towards short, Elusive has gathered some control there, but again, this bait and switch over towards bottom middle could yield them well, as God's Not Dead is choosing to inquire over towards Catwalk as the B hit is going to come in. It's EXE solo on this B bomb side. He's just got to buy time for his teammates as Doobie's rotated in for some help. He gets gushed down as EXE gets one into lately, and EXE's still alive. This is what you need from your B anchor. Just save time as he gets another kill as God's Not Dead in on the rotate. He gets one of his own, and just like that, it's Slayer left in a 1v3, no armor.
What a difficult clutch situation he's in right now. The bomb's not even planted, and you can see that's why he's trying to make something happen. He's actually goosed Donkey through the scaffolding, and he's going to push forward to try and finish off the kill, but it's going to lead to his demise. Impressive pistol round being picked up there by Royalty. They found the first kill, but it seemed like Sinister5 weren't going to have much trouble getting onto the B bomb site after they get the first pick. EXE, however, had other plans in mind. He lands some really clean one-taps to secure the round for his team, just purely off the fact that he buys so much time. Staying alive that long, God's Not Dead rotated through, and the rest was history.
I wonder what Elusive's school of thought was there, because he was the player with 2 flashes, and he actually went over towards Catwalk. So when the B hit came in, there was only 1 flash to hit the bomb site with, along with that smoke, and ultimately they lose the pistol round. But as we didn't see Royalty do, Sinister5, they full saved into this round. We're going to see what they can get done with these Glocks, possibly just group up towards Catwalk is what they've chosen to do, and Royalty are choosing to just play at range as the bomb site hit comes in. The dink goes the way of Donkey, and Leggy with this AWP. We could see a full victory to go their way, but God's Not Dead over towards Goose. He gets 3 of his own. Leggy's the only one on the bomb side, and a jumping scout shot, and now it's Lacey left, block in hand. 1v3, unable to get anything done.
Yeah, I love the idea there from Sinister5, because they haven't invested anything into the round. If they can find a bomb plant, it elevates this buy into a full buy with the AWP, with full util and everybody. It's a pretty good buy, all things considered. Actually, it is a full buy. They're just missing that AWP if they wanted it, which is what the bomb would have enabled. The bomb plant, that is. But yep, shut down there by Royalty, and this is going to be their first significant challenge in the second half. Lakey with the spawn is able to get himself towards long. He doesn't need the AWP to find that opening kill, and that is such a big thing to find at the start of the round for the T side. Although as I say that, it gets traded out. I was going to mention, it's so influential to get that pick because it gives you so much space to work with. You allow the CTs to rotate, you fake a little bit, you manipulate them, and then you can execute into a weakened bomb site. But look at Elusive, look at the read that he's made. He's going to catch Doobie completely off guard, and that now segregates all of the remaining CT players. EXE is going to be shivering in his boots on that B bomb site. So it's a fake. Leggy, pushing out for a bit of information, is able to find one, but it costs him his life. And I don't see a way in which Royalty win this. They might even go for the save. It's going to be tough. MP9 and a scout. Challenging.
Also, Lately's position over towards long. They don't understand that long's clear, but Lately's going to get these sound cues over towards short, and even this flank over towards top or middle possibly, but they are going to choose to go off this. They've got a molly, a smoke, and 2 flashes. 2 AKs have been upgraded too, so that makes the round a bit more doable. The retake comes in, EXE, both God's Not Dead. Coming in, EXE able to get the kill on towards Elusive with a great readjustment, but it's Deviant over towards Ramp, just trying to buy time. He's good for 1 onto God's Not Dead, and now it's EXE left, 15 points of HP. That nade doesn't do anything, but Deviant finishes him out anyway, and we've seen Deviant has been popping this game. He's already on 17 kills.
Yeah. Top of the server. No, EXE top, 19 kills on him. Both of them have had great games so far.
13.
Yeah. Damn, EXE's nearly got double anybody on his team. I thought that they'd have a bit more of an even kill distribution, but he's head and shoulders above everybody else right now. And that's an important round win by Royalty, because it just starts to allow them to start to sink their teeth into this half.
Slayer's got the Bison. He's going to eco fall. He can spray, but he actually gets taken down lately with 2 of his own, and the kills are going the way of Royalty. They've got 4.
Oh my
now
God,
Elusive
Nick.
left in a 1v3. The bomb is in hand, and the guns are
like
being able
this.
to be recovered. And Donkey, I think, would know that he's over towards short, but he's gonna dip over towards CT. Or open B bomb side is there, but
No, not like this, Chief.
Days. Full eco.
Does Elusive clutch this though? I think he might still clutch this. They're on the opposite side of the map as that bomb gets planted. So they're going to have to hightail their way there. There's no kit to help them. They've all been able to pick up some weapons at least. Oh man, this is the problem with Elusive's position. As soon as he takes 1 down, it's going to be so tough for him to take down 2 thereafter. All 3 of the players are charging in from the same place here for Royalty. Elusive finds the first kill, not able to connect on the second. Does some damage, but it's not fatal, and that is a massive let-off for Royalty. I don't really get why Sinister5 decided to push through long so aggressively in the anti-eco though.
It's such a common strat. Just 1 person buys a flash, 4 people stack over towards long corner. When they're out, call it. The flash comes in, full blind, and Royalty able to get 4.
Yeah.
And then it's Elusive left, and the economy. No.
Yeah, that's a big
They're
hit.
gonna reinvest as well. Oh no, okay. Lately's been lately's purchased up that hero AK, and it's gonna be a partial investment from the rest of them. But that's exactly Royalty needed. They didn't need a Hail Mary, but they've been given one for free.
Yeah.
A full eco, and now they're gonna choose to pester over towards long as God's not there, able to get 1. Donkey's left to anchor down this long position. A late long take could actually come in.
Yeah, they've got some utility to work with here, do Royalty, and they're actually going to be able to find that kill onto Donkey, so that does open things up a little bit, and now it forces Royalty to reconsider their setup, and they actually don't have anybody on the same bomb site right now. They've got 2 players in CT, a player in middle, and their 4th player on B, so they're definitely going to have to take short control through mid if Sinister5 get onto the A site. There is enough smokes for Sinister5 to get across. And they've gotten themselves into an actually pretty decent position right now. The boost up though means that Leggy has some elevation and he's going to be able to spot them above the smoke. He takes down Deviants on the cross, and I can't stress enough how big that frag is before the retake comes through.
Especially Zerotron's not understanding that there's a possible flank on it's long, and EXE is able to get 3 of his own.
This guy's
great
nutty.
round. Great round. 22 for 14. He's warm. He's done his aimbots. He's done his deathmatch, and
Did you say
he's
he
ready
has
to pop some
aimbots?
head. No, I said he's
Nick.
done his aimbots.
Can't be calling people out as a caster, bro. That's not cool, man. Yeah, he's impressive, man. He's a young talent, up-and-coming player. He played for HAzE Esports before Royalty, been brought into this team recently, and he's soaring this game right now. And he's a very entertaining player to watch just because he has that crisp aim. He's got some impressive movements, so yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. Another full buy round here. And Sinister5 have to win this. Look at the AWP have a 0 chance. He's the man with the spawn. He's not able to connect on the shot. But this is a must-win round now for Sinister5.
They're just choosing to go all guns blazing up towards short. 3 of them going that way, but long controls awarded to Royalty as they've rotated Donkey back towards bottom middle. 2 CT still in the B bomb site, and the T's are locked in towards short. And as we've spoken about so often, you often need this double-pronged attack to hit a site. And what Royalty did so well is when they only had 1 avenue to hit a bomb site, they just faked it and they went back towards B. But the question is, do Sinister5 have the same sort of idea? God's not there, just going to re-drop that smoke towards long with 1 minute left on the clock.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be interesting to see whether Sinister5 are all going to try to take the A bomb side over towards short, but they've slowed things down. 1 minute left.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy for Sinister5 because Royalty are just in solid positions right now, and they don't have to do much. They're just going to be sitting and waiting for Sinister5 to make the next move. You can see Leggy is posted on the angle in long, and he's going to be the main factor that Sinister5 have to deal with. He's going to be the first point of contention. Do they commit to this A hit though, or are they going to go towards middle? In fact, it is going to be the quick split fake onto A, and now they make their way towards the B bomb side. No smoke for CT, so that's going to be a bit tough, but Defense gets the frag on the player. And that's going to be making it easier as they now try and get themselves onto this B bomb side. Doobie is able to pick up 2. Unfortunately, EXE can't find a kill. So that means Sinister5 have the one-man advantage heading into this post plant. God's Not Dead streaming up through Dark. He's going to get caught off here through T-Spawn. No, Lately misses his shots. God's Not Dead wants to go back to try and deal with the player. He knows as long as Lately is alive, he's going to be a threat. Royalty going to be committing to the retake. Hey, Elusive on the angle gets taken down by God's Not Dead, who actually doesn't have to be dealing with this player anymore. He can join his teammate and focusing on the player on the bomb side. Deviant goes down. God's Not Dead has a flashbang. A smoke has been dropped onto the bomb as well. Lately has no choice but to push forward into the crosshair. He's going to be able to get the kill, but the diffuser's stuck. And Royalty win the round. Another round where they were playing from behind, and yet they managed to get across the line.
I'm actually quite a big fan of the fake that I alluded to, that Sinister5 need to pull out. And actually they did a bit of a twist on that mid to B. They smoked the CT drop, which is often with that short take that you have people jumping over towards CT and splitting the A bomb sites. But what they did is they threw those two smokes in, the lurk smoke and the CT smoke, and they just went mid to B, and they used that drop CT smoke as a mid to B smoke. Yes. And they actually fought Leggy out with his pants down towards CT. And ultimately, it was a good execution, but just the post plants lately just missing a couple shots, and now they're able to post 14 on the board, and Sinister5 are left scratching their heads a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough pull for Sinister5 to swallow as well, because that's the second time in this game where they've been in a commanding position and they haven't been able to convert the round into a win. They're going to have full weaponry at their disposal here once again, courtesy of that bomb plant and their round loss bonus. But they need to start picking up some round wins here. 14-7, Royalty, they're in the driving seat. They're bossing this game right now. And they're looking to take a 1-0 lead into Nuke, which is Sinister5's pick.
100%, yeah. And as I said, I did think Royalty were going to take this map, but you never know. You never know, especially with a map like Dust 2. Really, it's such an old map. It's been played so many times. There's not too many gimmicks you can throw around and as a curveball towards any of the sides that are possibly less rehearsed. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of deep ends of the strat book that Sinister5 can go to try bring this map back and possibly try and secure that 2-0 victory. That going into Nuke suggesting that they do take their own map pick, but I'm going to see Royalty trying to do whatever they can. A flash towards middle is going to be able to clear that out, and Donkey could get caught in transition over towards Long. He's actually able to tag Elusive down, but Deviant coming through. Take Leggy down rather than God's Not Dead over with the AWP. He's unable to get anything done. Maybe a bit of a preemptive peek over towards Long, and now it's a 3v5 and the CTs are saving.
I understand why God's Not Dead felt compelled to make that play. He had no support on the A bomb site, and there was almost definitely a player who was going to be wrapping up short. So he was going to get pincered regardless. He felt like the only player that was going to save him was if he was able to win the fight towards Long. He misses the shots and he goes down immediately. So Sinister5, they're going to be able to get across the line, and they should actually keep all 5 players alive as well, which is really important, because when you're making a comeback, you can't afford to be in a position where if you lose one round, you have to force up. You want to have full weaponry the entire time. So this has to be where the ball starts to get rolling for Sinister5 now.
100%, and as I said many times, we saw them come back from 13-2. We know they've got it in the locker. They can do it if need be, and if Royalty ultimately allow them to, because if Royalty start getting stuck in their own heads, we could possibly see Liquids of 2016 coming out, and we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that, but we're going to see 5 players staying alive. 3 rifles are saved, and Doobie can drop over one of his own. EXE can also drop over he can drop over a FAMAS if he chooses to do so. Doobie can actually drop over 2 M4s, but we're going to see if Royalty decide to invest into this, and they are going to the AWP draft over towards Leggy. Doobie's able to, and the FAMAS has dropped over as well. And we're going to see a full investment from both sides, and the question is, where's Leggy going to go? He's going to be boosted over towards short.
Yeah, changing something up here.
He's missed it. He's missed
oh jeez, I didn't catch this on camera. Lucky for Leggy that we didn't see that on stream. I was on Donkey's POV. All good. Nothing happened, guys. And now actually that might even cost them, because Lately would have spotted his leg, and Leggy's not at all aware that he's been spotted. But because that smoke comes through, Royalty are going to drop off. Fortunately for them, they dodged the bullet unknowingly. That was imminent. So let's see where this round takes us. Late long take is the name of the game for Sinister5. You can see they've got 4 players grouped up, and this is a really legit strat. I'm a super big fan of the late long take. You just wait for one CT to be posted there, and then you hit with the smoke, the flash through the doors, the flash over the top, and you take it with force. Although there's going to be some aggression towards short here from the CTs, where lately has been left lurking by himself, while the rest of his teammates make their way up long. 4 versus 4 as the dust settles, and it should be Sinister5 securing a bomb plant at the bare minimum.
And that we're seeing again that push-pull sort of strategy. Oh, Slayer? Oh, jeez. Tagged onto 28 from his teammates Molly, but we've seen that push-pull come out once again. Royalty, they lose long control, so they have to respond with taking something of their own, and they choose to take short. They do lose a player, which does hinder their retake a bit, but actually, zero chance being able to preempt on the P. He gets taken out, but Deviant's good for 2 of his own. Now it's Donkey and Niix left. 2v2 situation, and Donkey is able to readjust perfectly over towards Deviant, so just like that, elusive left.
Oh man.
1v3, 1v2, and he's caught with... What, did he pull out a nade or something?
Nah, he had his AWP, and I think he just wanted to try and get a bit closer, so I think he was going to go for the knife, push through the smoke, and then try and maybe trade the M4, I don't know. It was such an awkward position that he found himself in with the smoke dissipating. It's pretty much in no man's land there in long. When that smoke dissipates, it's like, wait, didn't I have a few more seconds from that smoke? Please, something, anything. And yeah, it just looks really awkward. Such low HP on the 2 remaining Royalty players as well. If he just had a rifle, maybe it could have been different. His approach would have been slightly different. Anyway, 15-8. Royalty secure map point here very early on in Dust. And in fact, oh my god, Donkey and Leggy show Royalty, or rather show Sinister5 exactly how they should have been locking down shorts. Because we saw Royalty doing exactly what Sinister5 did on the T side, just pushing up onto short at the beginning of the round, taking any fights. But this time the CTs win.
And I'm quite a fan of how Royalty, or as I say, that Leggy could actually get shot in the back. But we're seeing Donkey, he's going to go back towards the air bomb side. He's actually in position. I was about to say, I'm quite a fan of how Royalty are choosing to play this. They've got the 3-man advantage, they're just choosing to take things slow. But now they've lost 2, and now it's Slayer in a 1v3. He's able to get the bomb plants, but he's actually going to look for more. He wants to fill up his plate with more.
Oh man.
Leggy's going to be the first to take a bullet, and he's actually going to drop towards CT and catch EXE off guard. He's able to smoke his cross, and now he's going to hightail it towards the bomb site, but he caught. He hasn't done his community climb. He hasn't done his KZ.
He gets caught on the corner of the wall. That means that he's actually going to be caught out in the crosshair of his opponent, and that is map 1 being secured by Royalty Esports, and pretty dominating map 1 as well. 16-8, Nick. Neither of us would have expected that.
I mean, yeah, but we're gonna see. It was their map pick, so I think I did say Royalty, rather, that Royalty were gonna take the victory, but not was I gonna say that it was gonna be 16-8 at that. But quite a commanding CT side coming out from them. They did finish the half 9-6, I believe. So since the 5 were able to only post 2 on the T side, but we're going to see jumping into Nuke, which is going to be an interesting affair. We're going to see, especially in the BO2 format, we're going to see what sort of points can be posted on the board, whether it's going to be that of a draw or that of a 2-0 victory for Royalty.
Well, Sinister5 have to secure the draw here, right? Dropping points here would be pretty big deal for them. I want to get into this conversation where we actually look at the group and things, but I think we should actually just take a short break here, just hydrate ourselves, give everyone an opportunity watching the stream as well to just pick up a beverage and get ready for that next map. So guys, that was the first map done and dusted. Royalty take a 1-0 lead here in the best of 2 series. We're going to be heading to Nuke next, which is Sinister5's map pick, and I have a hunch that they're going to be securing some points over there. So guys, we'll be back in about 5 minutes with the rest of the series. Join us then. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the matchup here between Royalty Esports and Sinister5. It was a bit of an upset in the first game with Royalty winning the first map 16-8. It was a convincing victory, but we are now moving on to Niix, which is the pick of Sinister5 and the map that they've proven to be a force to be reckoned with on before. So, Nick, do you think Royalty are going to be able to repeat it here again and sneak a victory, or are we going to see the 1-1? You sticking with your original prediction? I'm giving you a chance here to change it.
You know, as much as I want to take the chance, I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick to my gun.
Okay.
I know Royalty don't have a horrible nuke, but I know it's definitely not up there as one of their best. So with that being said, I think Sinister5, I mean, they do start on T, so maybe they don't get the ball rolling. Maybe some things go Royalty's way, but ultimately, to be completely honest, I think Sinister5 take this map and we're going to see a 1-1 series.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if Sinister5 didn't get across the line here on Niix. This has proven to be probably their strongest map in the pool. That's why they just went with the pick here. But like you said, Royalty have also shown that they know what it takes to be competitive on Niix. So it's not a foregone conclusion by any stretch, especially considering that we're coming off the back of the way that Dust 2 went. I think that Sinister5 will be a little bit frustrated. I don't think that the scoreline was completely representative of how close some of the rounds actually were. And if Sinister5 had won a couple of those rounds that they certainly should have, then the game would have had a very different complexion. So
That full eco.
it's important to keep in mind. Just the 5 USP ended up winning a round 4 for Royalty. So guys, we should be jumping into the game here soon. Remember, it is the team who chose the map that doesn't choose sides. So, well, the team who didn't choose the map chooses sides. Let me put it that way, rather.
Yeah. So I would assume a map like Niix, that 99 out of 9,999 out of 1,000 times, you're gonna see the team starting CT that choose to pick, but you never know. Hey, maybe someone just wants to decide to pull something out of the hat for some reason. But I'd assume Royalty would pick the CT side.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think a map like Niix, you're looking at that 10-5. You're looking at that 11-4, and then I think you'd be pretty satisfied with that if you play pretty evenly matched sides on Niix as a map.
Yeah. I think that we're going to see Sinister5 come out guns blazing here. If they start on the T side, they're going to be looking to make a bit of a statement just to remind Royalty what they think, because I'm pretty sure Sinister5 would have seen themselves as favorites heading into this game. Looks like we're going to be changing servers here, guys. So just bear with us for the moment, please, while we figure out exactly where we're going to be ending up. We have some variance issues with this server, unfortunately. Maybe jump on another one which will be a bit better.
Yeah, as we don't want anything like that in terms of online problems, anything along the sorts to take away from any team's ability.
Yeah.
And I'm never against rehosting a server or cancelling a match in terms of a player's ability, in terms of a player's experience on that server. So I think it's just going to be a bit of a technical wait, but in terms of we'll be able to jump into Niix on another server, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see some exciting Counter-Strike, some guns blazing, as you said, some exciting things from both teams. Hopefully.
Yeah, let's get our ugly mugs on the screen here, Nick, and see if everything's working. Oh man, I'm still getting this weird thing with yours where it's just showing up. It's showing the stream. It's so weird. There we go. Fixed.
Is it working now?
Problem fixed. Who
ugly
knows?
bugs on the stream.
I minimized my Chrome in the background and now it's fixed. Okay, well, I'm not complaining. At least the problem's been solved. So guys, welcome. This is the Telkom VS Gaming Masters Season 5. And this is the first match that Nick and I are actually casting of the season. Really looking forward to a bunch of games that we have on the horizon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on social media as well. I'm at HAzE Castings. He's at Nick Bart, that's Bart, and yeah, keep up to date with the games we're going to be casting when and where, because yeah, there's a lot of Counter-Strike coming up over the next few weeks. This event is going to be running from, it already started a couple days ago, until the 27th of September. It's going to culminate with the online series of Comic-Con, and that's where the finals will be played. So yeah, 3 stages spread out over the next month and a half. A bunch of Counter-Strike, really high entertaining games. We've got it all set out for us. I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, it's just exciting times, you know. We get to watch good Counter Strike over the course of a month and a half or so, I believe. It's going to be around that sort of time, and I mean, I'm just excited to watch some good Counter Strike. So, in terms of the teams playing, as we said, we got the top teams in the country. Over 100 teams, 110 teams rather, entered into the VS Gaming legs.
Yeah.
The various legs of it throughout the season. So the fact that they're here in the first place, it just shows that they're a force to be reckoned with and they deserve to be here over the long stretch that the multiple legs took. And
Yeah.
if you're here, you deserve it. And we're going to see the teams battling out for that ultimate prize at the online Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Very excited and looking forward to those finals to just prove exactly who the best team in South Africa is. I mean, it's fairly undisputable at the moment. ATK just head and shoulders above everybody else. So yeah, we're just waiting for everybody to figure out exactly what's going on. I haven't received a new link yet.
We just got to kill some time, man. We just got to kill some time.
That's it. That's it. Actually, you can talk a little bit about the event from a format standpoint. I'm going to bring up the tournament website.